right, so for recording purposes, we're gonna go over quickly on a quick review on the beginner's chart class that we had. And then we're gonna go into trading views and how to utilize the tools to your advantage. So what we did go over on the beginner's chart class is how to identify what a uptrend is, what a downtrend is, consolidation, and also support and resistance. So I'm just gonna do a quick run through because that's like a lot, right? So real quick, just seeing what I can see from right here, we have a uptrend here, right? And the way that we're able to identify the uptrend, give me a second. The way that we're able to identify this uptrend is by higher highs and higher lows, right? And you can see that within the previous candle to its previous candle, right? So even starting from this morning star, right? We are able to see that we have a high here. It tested that high, but regardless of it testing it, it broke that high. Then we got another high from that candle, right? We also know we have a high here that we have to be able to break. We can see it right here where it breaks, right? We broke that high to that high. And we're gonna have these are targets, but these are still highs, right? Then you're gonna have these highs that are like right here, right? And those broke. So you're able to see a sequence of higher highs, right? And even from the next candle to the next candle, you're continuing to see higher highs, and higher lows. And that's how you're able to identify an uptrend. Now, when you chart up your uptrend as well, you'll be able to start identifying different patterns within that uptrend that'll show you and give you a bullish sentiment, such as a tweezer bottom, right? We kind of it worked out, but then it failed its reversal. But you had a morning star here, right, which is a bullish reversal. And then we have plenty of like just bull flags. They're kind of hard to see them. But if we switch it over to a different time frame, it'll be easier to be able to take a glance at it. Let's find that price action. There it goes. All right, awesome. Right, so in this uptrend, there's not really too much to like really see, but this bull flag break right here, you can also see, well, what I can also see, that failed. It tried to give a head and shoulders, but you had an inverse cup and handle right here that kept going a little bit. I could see like a small inverse head and shoulders right here, a cup and handle right here, and then just kept like flagging hard right there, like coming down on a smaller time frame. I could see that, right? But on this uptrend, specifically, it's not showing that much, right? Now to identify a downtrend, since we can see one right here, we'll identify with this one. Right, and me just drawing it out real quick, what we can identify is at the top a reversal pattern, which is a evening star, right? And that's very bearish, right? You'll start to see more bearish things, just like a bear flag right there that broke out. You put in both of these price actions together, we can see a head and shoulders. It's just sloppy, but broke all the way down. We see a cup and handle, which was bullish, but it failed and kept going down. And then we see that it broke trend here because we did get an inverted head and shoulders, right? Off of the first cup and handle that failed, came down, gave us a bear flag that failed, and you can see the morning star start to rise to a bull flag and things of that nature to give us that other right shoulder, right? And that is a bullish sentiment inside of a downtrend. So we know that that's a pullback, right? It won't be it's a minimum downtrend to the 5-minute chart, right? But if we was to pull this over to an hour, it's just going to be, excuse me, a long wick and it going right back up, seeing a hammer going up. So that's how you identify that. Since we can see it right here, this is how we can identify anything that's called consolidation. right? And consolidation is always trading sideways, right? And depending on the security that you're trading, it's not to say that you cannot trade the consolidation, right? The consolidation could be a range, it could be a smaller range or a bigger range. It just depends on the security. Like right here, we can see it's kind of consolidating from the price of 442.38 up to about 443.27. Trading SPY, that still would have been a decent move, right? So you just got to keep in mind that even though we see these candles look like this, you could go on a different security and that move can be literally 10 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. So you got to make sure that you know what moves you're looking for your breakouts and things of that nature. And then also how I identify support and resistance is going to be the bodies of the candlesticks, right? I like to use each candlesticks as well, just the bodies of it, not the wicks. Since I'm a scalper as well, but that's when I'm in my scalping mentality, right? So like if you just wanted to find some type of support, I would automatically come right here. We obviously see that this is where it reversed from. I tend to try to keep my terminology to even to myself. When I'm speaking clear and in depth on what I see. When I first started trading, I would call it a bounce from here. Like we know it bounced from there, but that's not a bounce, right? We know that that's support due to the bodies of the candlesticks. And we also know that this is a reversal pattern, right? A tweezer bottom. And when we're able to start to identify, even with support and resistance, well, I'll use this tool. Well, and looking at the candlesticks, we'll be able to see that there was an inverted head and shoulders right there, and that head is what gave us that reversal, and then it started that sequence of lower highs, right? Oh well, yeah, lower highs, higher lows. Sorry, higher lows, and then it just kept going. So, long story short, how I like to identify it is I would have went right here, and I'm just going to the top of the body of this same candlestick that I just utilized, right? And I'm going to deem that to be a resistance, right? Just for the price, how it is, and I can always go back and see how it was a resistance so that I don't feel like I'm crazy, right? So I know that that is a resistance, right? The next resistance that I'm going to see, and you will hear me now that I've drawn a support and a resistance. Here, I'll delete this so it doesn't cloud anybody's imagination. I'll draw that line back. Right here. Just do this maybe. Delete. We'll put a line right here. So that's support, right? So this is going to be resistance. And as I continue to draw more lines, you will hear me say here, and here's another resistance, and here's another resistance. The reason why is because we found support. So once we break resistance once we have support and we break that resistance now becomes the support, right? And then you just shoot it to the next resistance, right? So the next resistance, I'll be utilizing the same candlestick, not the same candlestick, but another one that's similar to it that is just a nice push up right there. And I'll be able, and matter of fact, because I wanted to be spot on. Bring you down here. We want another one right here. We want another one right here. Right. So we can look to the left and we can see where I'm claiming that this is support to the resistance. Don't know how that heavy. That's support to the resistance. So from this resistance, this would be support now. Once it breaks it, like right here, how you see that's what its resistance. You seen that hammer right there. It came down, it tested, closed back over it. It held and it pushed back up to this next resistance. You can see red candles where it closed, and you can see that that's a resistance because that would have been a support for that candle, right? Because it's closing there. So the red candles have a resistance at the top, support at the bottom, right? Because they're always trying to break a support, and that's why you start to see it bounce, right? When it's bearish, and then it'll finally break down. So that's how I see support and resistance. So quickly, I'll literally not look for so many wicks. I'll see this body's right here. I'll take that body. That's my next support. I see this one. That's my next one. I come here. I see that one. That's my next one. that one matched with that one too, and it was so perfect, right? This resistance, I'm seeing it here when I go to the past, how I couldn't hold that price, right? So our next support, and as you see, I'm calling it now support because there's like no price action to go after this, right? Because this right here, so I can explain myself, I know that this is supply zone, right? So since I know it's supply and we broke through that supply zone, I now in my mind will be looking for some type of support, right? Because I want to stay above that supply zone. Because if I stay above that supply zone, it now becomes a demand zone. And support and resistance is similar to supply and demand. They're just not the same. It's just similar, but it's not the same. Supply and demand is just you getting that full range of the move that you're looking for, right? And now when I bring it like this, you're able to see that, and I can change this one to green. So since it's a support, you will also see that this is a demand zone, right? When it comes down here, it broke, but this is where they're going to want to buy it up at, right? And you'll see better price action more so in the past, right? Because this was a supply zone, like how we've seen it here, right? And it held, became a demand to its next supply zone, right? But the demand was a little lower at first, and then they trailed it up to be a little bit higher, and that's why we got that nice little bounce, right? So then that's how I see support and resistance, and that's how that's created. All right, so now let's just get into the fun things on trading views. But before we get into the fun things on trading views, was everybody able to understand that? And if you have any questions, please let me know. Appreciate you, Bill. Appreciate you. All right, awesome. Yeah, my bad. I forgot to tell you I could drop a 1 in the chat or something like that. But yeah. All right, cool. So we picking up. Awesome. Great. All right, so trading views. And if y'all can unmute yourselves and ask any questions on this. I'm just gonna I literally just freehand all my classes. All right. I'm gonna bring it over to a bigger time frame. I'll put it on like an hour. All right, awesome. This, yeah, appreciate you. I just like seeing like price action. All right, so let's start with this box. Let me go to chat first. When is your next class? Right now. Tuesday. Next Tuesday. I have a question. What's up, Melania?
So today, right? I was, so today we had a massive run up, right? And then of course, we're doing the support, we're doing the resistance. So then of course I'm thinking, okay, we hit the top of the resistance, we hit the top of the RSI. Here I'm thinking it's gonna reverse. And it never reversed. So it's like what to do? Like, how do you know if it's a trending day or how do you know it's really not, or if it's gonna be a reversal day? Like how do you using support and resistance in the charting?
All right,
Especially on SPY.
All right, so you're asking to answer the question in support and resistance, but also gauging with the RSI being oversold to know if we're going to continue to trend up.
Yes.
All right, so for starters, dang, that's a good freaking question. What time is it? 9:25. I'm gonna make it fire. I'm gonna try not to be long-winded so we could go to the tools. So the best way to get them to see that Moody will be you will have to do the replay. All right, so remember how it looks right here? Real quick, just to give you the gem, because I know you learn pretty fast, Melina. Just trail that hour, come down to the 2 hour, and it's how you know you're still gonna run. You see how you're not overbought here on this 2 hour? It's just like I'm not sure if it was on the live trade this morning. I explained it where it's like your first candlestick that comes out, even on the 5 minute, even though we're on the 1 minute, that same candlestick is the same candlestick for your 15 minute, for your 30 minute, until 15 minute goes past that market, right? So that's how I'm also gauging it. So if the RSI ran up for that time period and it's overbought, I know that it just needs to pull back on a smaller time frame, right? Because the smaller time frame is what needs to pull back, but the bigger time frames, everything that we see, everything that you know the RSI to be on that 1 minute and on that 5 minute, like, oh, it's breaking the median, is the same thing for the bigger time frame. So when you know for a fact that this thing that came down here on the bigger time frame is going to run up, the thing is, by the time it came right here, is overbought on the smaller time frame. You got to wait for that pullback. And that's what that pullback means for me gauging the RSI, right? So to make it fire, so you can be able to see it, while I do the replay, hold on, let me stop it real quick. I'll put it on support and resistance, make it fire in 3 minutes. Let me go to chat. Light bulb. What you mean light bulb, Tracy? She said light bulb. An iPhone 2
The
5.
way you just broke down that if you're on the lower time frames are the one that need to it goes down, the RSI will go down and then it needs to come back up. But the higher time frame can keep going. The lower time frames get oversold, they have to come back down in order for you to keep going higher or
Yeah.
for you to pull back.
Yeah, basically. And we gauge it with the 50 mark. And I like the 25. I don't like the 30 because it breaks the 30 a lot. But it bounces from the 30 a lot as well. I like the 3369. It's just 369. And there's another number, I forgot what it is. But long story short, if that just turned on a light bulb, understand that right there, take that with you and understand that's why you're getting scared out your trade. Say if you're bullish or even if it's bearish and you're utilizing the RSI to go down, the reason you get scared out your trade is because you're staying on a smaller time frame. I know that. That's why I can stay on the smaller time frame. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like, oh, I'm just gonna chill, about to pull back. All right. And especially if I'm like 30% up, oh, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. And I already took profit, let it come down to a 10%. I'm gonna find out it's gonna hit a support and it's gonna go right back up because the bigger time frame staying by and it just has to go up. Is logic. It's not even, yeah, it's logic. It's not creative or anything like that. The RSI is hard to read what I'm explaining. If this is the first time you hear me, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be like, oh dang, what is he talking about? You really have to see what I'm talking about. But all right, let's take it to the 3 minute. And what we're basically gonna do is just come to market opening. Because that question was fire. 9:30. Let's get this replay going. And we'll just do it at 9:18. And I'm also drop the recording that we recorded today on the live so it could be able to help y'all. Y'all can go back and see. Because I do remember telling everybody I'm only looking for calls. I'm only looking for calls. And let's start it off like that and then go into Melena's question. So what did I do? I think I started recording at that time, possibly. But all I did was jump over to the daily. Dang, it's probably not gonna show me how it's supposed to look. Let me see. Today is the 29th. It's giving me the 29th. All right, but it is giving me already the date. So all I did was just look at the price action. I knew that we was down. From there, I took it to a 4-hour, to a 12-hour. I'm always gonna do that, right? And just I'll help you block out what happened today. Let it load up with the RSI. Matter of fact, I could hit the replay and block it out. So This is real. This is what I will end up calling like choppiness. When I see something like this, I ain't gonna lie, I will use that terminology. That's choppy to me because on a 4-hour, there's not much I can read with this price action. Overstand Moody. When I'm looking to trade and the market's about to open, I don't care about none of this. I don't care about none of that. I'm gonna look for a fib, and I care about these two price actions right here. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because these two price action on a 4-hour is going to develop the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm over this big candle, that's all I look at, right? As soon as the market is opening up, I find that one big candle, I know I have a support here. I know that this is a resistance automatically, right? And I see the evening star right there. So I know to take price up there. I already know that because if I'm looking at my RSI, that's the median right here. And I'm also, you see that right there is a resistance, but this is a green candle. If it goes over that body, is now support, and we're going to take that thing up, right? So let's bring it over to the 3-minute, and we'll do the support and resistance, right? And I'm just looking at all of that. I'll go to the hour. I'm trying to find bull flags, things of that nature. I'm looking at the RSI. If the RSI already came down and is pushing up, I'm looking for calls. The only thing that scares me, and I don't even like to use that word, that makes me nervous, is this. If I see my RSI and we're opening up and it's like right here, I know for a fact that we can reject that and come down. So that's when you're gonna hear like, yo, I'm trying to get in and out, you know, things of that nature, right? So coming over here, 28th one day. I'm tripping. Oh, it did it. I'm tripping. It just didn't show me on the other thing. All right, so this is how the market's looking, right? I'm on a 1-minute. I'm loving this. This is, we're overstaying. Think about that. The market hasn't opened up and we're about to trade. This is 4 a.m. I'm gonna just let it play out and let it go quick because that's like 4 a.m. I'm trying to move this all the way over here. I'm about to do that. That's gonna take forever. Stop. Thank you much. All right, cool. Oh, why did I hit the indicator? I'm smacked. All right, I want to get like this price action right here. Why? Because I'm already seeing the inverted head and shoulders, and I'm not lying. I could have been like, yo, the inverted head and shoulders is right there. But all right, so this is what the market looks like. This is literally Moody setup, right? We're already seeing it. It came down from the RSI. I don't look at coming down from the RSI right here. I would never do that. This is the 50. I'm going from the top. I'm always going to look at the top. Where was the top, right? Even over here, where was the top? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. That's how you read the RSI. Whenever you find the top, you got to find the bottom. Whenever you find the bottom, it goes back to the top. Whenever you find the top, it goes back to the bottom. Whenever you find the bottom, it goes back to the top. Every time on any single time frame, right? So, and this is when you get super nice, you'll end up just buying down here because you're not that scared. But long story short, this is where you want to add to your positions, or if you haven't enter your trade is where you want to enter. What I'm seeing, cup and handle, already bullish. That's what that's just how I read price action. Inverted head and shoulders could possibly be coming up. I know that was gonna happen. I didn't. On top of that, bottom of a downtrend. I'm on bottom of the downtrend and it's showing me a big pattern. You know what I'm saying? And it's on the bottom of my RSI, tweezer bottom, right? So we're gonna go ahead and grab some support right here, right? We're gonna grab some resistance right here. I just went off of this one candle right here. You could go right here to this candle, right? But I would have went right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And explain yourself, Moody. The reason I would have went right here and not right here is because this one's older than this one, and this is more support than this one, right? So from there, I'm always gonna go to newer price action. If I go to an older one, it's gonna be a big candlestick like that. But once I see that and I see that this candlestick was right here, I'm gonna go to that one, right? Right there. Then you have one right here, right? Off the green and the red, right? Your next one is going to be right here, right? Your next one is going to be right here. And this is when everybody first met me. This is what my chart looked at like 2 years ago. And they're like, man, you got all these lines in your chart, Moody. Why? Because this is how I'm trading. And this is what I want. I want these moves. And I know that the price action has to go there and it will stop here, right? So this is how I know where price can go and even come down, right? But this is going to look sloppy to anyone if I introduce the chart this way. It's like, dang, that's a lot. you know, but it's easy to recognize how I'm charting it. Bill Fire, appreciate you. So now we're just gonna let it play out. And I was like, as soon as 9:30 comes into the market, I was like, yo, I'm buying calls. I'm buying calls, right? So I wasn't lying. I already seen this inverted head and shoulders because this is 9:15. And I promise you, I seen it and I'm like, oh, I'm going for calls, right? I like how it's playing the RSI. What I wish is that I can pause this. This is 9:30. Man, Lord, let it be like this. Go to the 1 minute because you know I'm on a 1 minute. This is what it's looking like. Is this? Yep, 9:35. Right. So at 9:35, that's 5 minutes into the market. 9:30. You see how it's coming down from here? I already seen it go up. Boom. Wow. Wow. I didn't watch it go up, but I seen the thing. This is a bull flag. If I stay over my 50, I'm looking for calls. That's why I was like, yo, as soon as the market opens up, just calls. We run up. As soon as this happens, Milena, and get off of this time frame. This is the time frame you need to be on. Right here. That's how you gauge the RSI. Because it's already overbought over there. And you know it's overbought over there. The only thing you do is until the time starts to run out right here. That's why I'm always looking for the time running out. As long as the time runs out, now I can go to another time frame. Moody showed them that in action though. So we're on the 1 minute. Let it play. And you see how it's gonna hit all these lines. It's gonna be perfect with it. Boom. Next one right there. Right here, you get off of this time frame. Because this is where, even if you've seen this on the hour, you're going to be like, man, okay, it's time to take the RSI down. It's time to take the RSI down, but it's not. Why? Because check this out on the hour. We just getting started, baby. That's 9 o'clock. It's going to give us the full hour. It's not going to show us how it's developing, but we're just getting started. Look at the RSI. We're just getting started. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from the bottom. This ain't you got to read it the same way you're reading that 1 minute, but remember, get off of that 1 minute because it's too much data. It's way too much data. You'll forget. It's like, perfect analogy. The ocean. You have to stay focused. If you go too far out, you start to see like, oh, okay, it's deep. Oh, whoa, hold on. It's not even deep no more. What? Because the sand is sinking. Then next thing you know, it gets to a deeper part. And then let's just say you start chilling out there for about a good 20 minutes. And now you start going back to shore and you're like, oh, snap this. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's the RSI. You know what I mean? So you have to know it bounced on it's the bigger time frame that we're looking for, right? Because that's why you always hear me say it's the perfect setup as soon as the hour's down there. It's the perfect setup if the hour and the 4 hours down there. Perfect setup. Ain't the only thing that you can do is go to the 7 hour to the 12 hour and see how much more you can fall. But the thing is, those time frames there, they'll go deep sea diving on an hour. Like, check it. I gotta find one. But look, they're rare. Basically what I want to tell you, they're barely gonna go deep sea diving. What I call deep sea diving is going under the 25. They're barely gonna do that. See, like right here, but then you catch the reversal. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't gauge it too far out to go overbought on the smaller time frames. Why? Because on the bigger time frame, because the 5 to 7 it's going to take them way too much longer to come down. What has to happen is that it has to bounce like how I did right here and then push up. But by the time you see that on the hour, you're thinking reversal, but it's saying bear flag back down to get the 2 hour overbought. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But if you get those big time frames overbought, those are the intraday time frame. They have to go back up. If you get the bigger time frame, daily, weekly, it's a wrap. Just go long. But I'm trying to tell you, I've been doing this for going on 3 years. Just go long. Don't be scared. Just go long. You're just gonna go through a hectic ride. So going back to the 3 minute. I told you that was a good ass question. That was a dope ass question. All right, now this is when it gets fun, right? Because it's like your pre-market, that's your pre-market highs. It's like, what else are you gonna do from here? Right? Like, I'm always saying go to your left, but it's like, dang, that's why you hear higher time frame, because you can't see nothing else to the left. This is when you hear the traders say, oh, is it blue skies? And I'll be like, bro, this shit ain't blue skies. But they don't see nothing to the left, so they really think it's blue skies, right? So Go to the hour. See that big old candle? Fibber. And I was doing it live too, where it's like I already have fibbed this, and you could have possibly seen it live. Like when I first started trading, it was all the way down here. So I fixed it, boom, put it there. And all I did, this one candle is all I want. But I gotta go to different time frames, like the 15 to 30, so I can break her down. Once I have her fibbed, I won't get confused. I know what candlestick I'm looking for. Thing. Right here. Let me just open her up. Right, because I got it from down here to up there. All this stuff is throwing me, so I'm gonna delete it. I know how I did it, so I'm gonna just grab it from here. And it was all the way to like down here somewhere. Oh, Jesus, let me be great. So what you're gonna do is, and I know what I know it's the RSI, but I'm gonna show you so you don't get scared. So what you're gonna do is you take your fib, right? Because imagine all those green lines were still there. Your price action is right here. You don't know where else to go, right? But now that you got your fib, you know that that's 50% of the actual move, right? So you start to fib this candle, because when you fib this candle, now you know, holy shit, I'm in the range. That's why, like, when you see the double whites on mine, like, I love it. Why? Because the real 100 started, the real 0 started down here. This is the new range, 0 to that 100, and it's with the other 100. But I got that 50% retracement. I know to take it there, right? And then the same thing, you get to the 5 minute and you keep breaking it down. Now, so it could go a little faster, I'm gonna leave it on the 5 minute, and we're just gonna watch this go. I'll put it like 3. And you literally see that's the 50% retracement. Boom, just completed that. That's his full move. Once it completes his full move, you see how you're overbought? You got to get off that time frame. And that's why we're not going to make that money, right? You got to, from there, you got to move it to the 15. It's not overbought yet. It's just getting started. That one's overbought. So what you do from there, you move it. And before you start moving it, since you're on smaller time frames, start fibbing, right? I'd rather go bigger. I'll take it off to 30 because these two candles are going to get put together. But regardless of the fact, I know that you could just take these two right here, right there. But you know that that's 2 moves, but it's not 2 moves to the 30 minute, right? So from there, you want to take it to your 30 minute, right? Bada bing, bada boom. So from there, we see we hit that top of that range, even the one that we created. We're overbought here. You got to move to your hour. It's that easy. It's like, okay, dang, the 30 minute needs to retrace. You know that 30 minute needs to retrace. All right, cool. So what you have to do is just how it peeped out of there. That's why I keep this turned on. You got to come here and you already see it. It's so freaking clear. Look, I'm going to delete all this. It's so clear. Can somebody tell me where I'm going to put my fib? Because I believe in y'all. I'm going to just open it up. What candle am I about to use?
The red candle.
That big red candle
hammer, the hammer,
with the wick at the bottom.
the hammer, right? The red hammer.
Right under the morning star. Evening star.
Everybody right. Is this, y'all talking about this one, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's not even, it's everything that y'all said, but it's because this green line, I'm looking for where's the bottom. If I would have used this one, this is just a 50% retracement to this candlestick. You already know that. Right? So I'm gonna use this because that's the range that we're trying to get in. Make sense? You can even use this one because you could be like, oh, I'm in the range. You know, but this one's gonna give me a higher range. You feel me? And I know, like, okay, cool, that's the greedy. You don't got to worry about trying to fill gap. Everybody's going to try to do that, especially if you miss the move. Right? So from there, you already see we hit 50.
Freaking genius, man.
Come down. I appreciate it.
Is that an opportunity to get in if you missed the big move when it gets into another range?
Every time.
Every time you use it to another range. Okay.
Yeah, I was scared of you losing money this morning, so that's why I didn't want you to get in at the 50% retracement.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. But I
But
ain't want
I wouldn't have lost though. We saw what happened.
Yeah. Facts. I could gamble and do everything with my money, but with others, it's like that's why I stopped doing the re-entry. But
Right.
I'm starting to do like, all right, you can buy here at these bounces. Why? Because what I understand is you control your emotions. So you may be like, you know what? All right, cool. Moody did that. All right, yo, it's working for him. I like that. I'm gonna take the next one right here. You can enter here as well. You can take a bounce here and things of that nature. It'll work out for the next person that way. So coming here, you already see that's 50% retracement. And shout out to Milena because she's the one she that's why I tell you guys ask questions. I'm supposed to be doing a whole different class. All right, so now bringing it down to the 15 because the hour, remember when we're doing these replays, the hour, any time frame that you're utilizing is just going to show you the open and close, open and close, open and close. The only time frames that don't do that, this is why I love the replay, is going to be anything that you start over a daily, like a 2-day chart will show you both moves on the day. It'll be like do. You know what I'm saying? So then the 3-day will do it too. So obviously the week will literally show you the 5-day, how it happened. You know what I'm saying? You'll literally see each candle. The month will literally do each day. So long story short, now that you fibbed it, and just gonna take it all the way over here so you can see where it's coming from, right? Because this is why I wanted to do that class to show you how to utilize the tool. We're not seeing it's not updating. There it is. It's coming from that candlestick, right? So what we're gonna do here, we're overbought, Milena. But remember, let me take you to the hour because that's your original question. We're overbought right here. Let it load up. But what you're gonna do is it's not overbought yet for me, but what you're gonna do, let's just say that is right there. You're gonna take this over to an hour chart. I mean, a 2-hour chart. And then what I want you to do as well, no, you can't look here. Moody is 9 o'clock. Look at the time, right? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're still not overbought, right? Also go bigger because it's 10 o'clock in the morning still. All these time frames are here for you to manipulate and take to use to your advantage, right? You're gonna see the RSI just the same thing coming from the bottom, from the top to the bottom. You already know. Oh, that's the test. Oh, what? Higher lows. Wow, we're breaking through now. You know we have time to run. This is why I'm like, nah, I'll say SPY will fall around 551, right? And I'll show you at the end how it looks, right? So even if you come down to this time frame, right? Before I take it down to the 3-minute and let it work out, you can literally come here and fib this candlestick. You know what I'm saying? And you already see it right here, right? So you know for a fact, this is the resistance because the candlesticks are going up now to it. But this was a support. You literally see how clear it is. You see the hammer. And now in your brain, it's just clicking. It's just like, doom, actionable signal. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys been with us for a minute. So you're seeing it right there. Actionable signal, support. You see to the past, it was a resistance, right? Becomes support. Tests the support, breaks the support, comes all the way down. Where? I'm gonna show you this. It's so easy. To the breakouts, to the support. Boom, boom. See how I came back? Went there, then never came back. That's why I say don't fight that price. You gotta learn to be able to buy 20 cents, 10 cents, but you'll start learning that when you can bleed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like some of you right now can't afford to bleed. Y'all like, nah, bruh. It's got to go my direction. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gauging it off of the bigger time frames, knowing that we have to go. The sexiest thing about the RSI is when you start going bigger to the like daily, it just shows you everything. It's like, bruh, it's no time. Like we're breaking all-time highs. This RSI needed to pull back. Like from all this run that we did, look, we never broke back to the downtrend territory. Never. We came a little bit, went back up. We ran so much. Remember what I tell you. If it stays over the 50, it works on a daily too. It just takes price. Show them the candlesticks, Moody. It don't matter if it consolidates. It takes, look, as soon as we break over here, it goes up. I'll show you from here. The price goes higher and higher. You see how it went higher and higher there? It truly won't break and fall until it hits this. That's why you got that break move. That's why I try to teach people. I want to teach y'all the strat, but if y'all want to learn what I know, is how I learned it. It's price action, patterns. RSI was there with me the whole time. I left alone the MACD, and then the strat came along. And you'll be able to see the chart literally how I see it, because I see the strat here, right? So long story short, yeah, it's an inverse cup and handle, but I deem those to be bullish, especially on bigger time frames. But long story short, that's that, right? And here I just make it a little bit more juicier. I'm not even gonna take it to one of those days, just take it to the week. Take it to the week. Why? Because it's clicking for y'all now. You see that? That's the daily when it dropped down here. You got to be able to know that. You would know that as soon as you start just looking at the RSI and you see, oh my God, it's overbought and it's coming down, and you're playing with the time frames and you're going all the way down, and you'd be like, holy snap, it's at the 25 on the 1, but it's at the 50 on the 15. We going back up. It's literally telling you a story where it has to go back up. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it back to the 3-minute and we'll let it shine. Why you decide to leave the MACD alone? Because it was just too much stuff on the chart, and people I was learning from and that was like boosting me up, like D-Wiz and other people, was just like advising me like, hey bro, naked chart, because that's how I used to trade, like naked chart just with my RSI. And it was like, trust me, I'm trying to unlearn. Like big dogs would tell me like, I'm trying to unlearn how I trade to just trade like that. That's how you trade. And I don't know. I was just on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like to take too much credit, but then I start to understand like, oh shit, I created this shit with the RSI. Like nobody really talks about it like that. All right, so now let's press play. Hit overstand, Milena. Let me take it off of this because it's overbought. Let me put it on a 5. Hopefully it's not overbought. No, they're overbought on all time frames right now, I think. Yeah. So since we're overbought on the 5-minute, Milena, I know you're following me. You see how I kept saying, go to the bigger time frame, go to the bigger time frame, and you see that we're not overbought. Now, your mind runs quick. Now you got to go to smaller time frame because you're overbought on the 5. You're overbought on, look, I'm going to teach you how to trade. You're overbought on the 15. This is how you read the RSI. Once that happens, you have to get off those bigger time frames. You know the bigger time frame wants to run. You know that the medium time frame that I'm showing you, 5-minute, 15, they're overbought. You have to come back to your sexy. The one that makes you go crazy. Because she's not overbought. She's the one that's going to come back down, give you the move, and go back up. You see how you're right here on this? Look at, I'll take you back to your 3-minute so you can see it. And I'm going to leave it on 3-minute because you already saw your 1-minute. You see that your 1-minute is not overbought, right? Just one more time so it can click. 3-minute, basically overbought. 1-minute is not overbought. That's how much room you have on your 3-minute before it falls down. Now, I'm going to let it play from the 3-minute, and then I'm going to go to your 1-minute so you can see your RSI. Press play. And go to test to go into your range. Red to green, bull flag break inside, trying to hold. Boom, has to pull back, but look how it pulls back and keeps pushing in and staying inside of your range. You have to be able to like identify with that. Oh shit, consolidation. Remember what that is? Trading sideways, boom, breakout. It's 3-minute. You gotta be able to read this. You got the 50. Now that's beautiful. Why? Because it went overbought to your 50, kept taking you higher. And look, now you got a pullback. You got a pullback. That's what a pullback is. Now look at your 1-minute though. That's a sexy pullback. That's just like, what? All right, let's go. Remember, everybody, when we was trading, I was like, oh man, there goes the freaking Head and Shoulders. If it happens, but it consolidated up there for a while. Now, press play. You always want to move where this thing breaks, but it doesn't always do it. See, that's a break right there. right there. That was a break and retest to go back. When this thing goes back down, oh man, just buy it. Because I'm about to show you this. Watch. Let it go down some more. Let it go down. I don't want it to pop up. There we go. Let's just pause it right here. Take it to the 3. See that? It's just because it popped up already. This is the full 3-minute move. That means it had 2 more candlesticks probably for the 1 minute, right? So it's already pushing back up. You see that? Right at the support. And remember, you was all the way up here. So what do you think this is about to do? It's about to take you up there now. You got to be able to read that, but it's multiple time frame analysis. You know what I'm saying? That's why anybody that you see going to time frames and you see them talking about, oh, but I saw this on this time frame, I saw this on this time frame, I saw this on this time frame. That's the go. It don't matter who it is. That's the go. But you got to understand that they can see everything how, like I'm telling you, and I'm not saying that it's perfect how I'm doing it, but, and it's just the retracement. This right here that you're seeing is called a bearish divergent. RSI pushing down, candlesticks are consolidating. That's still a bearish divergent because you've been pushing up. But all that matters is that you don't break this. This is your uptrend territory from here to here, here to here. Of course, it's from the bottom, but you got to be able to catch that reversal. But it's not going to break up higher until it breaks the 50%. That's when you break out. And it's literally how you gauge it. So if I take you back to the 1 minute, you crashed. You had to. Let me see. Nah, you didn't crash all the way, but boom. And that's it. And once it's overbought on those time frames, we can take it now because remember the 5 minute was overbought and the 15 minute. Take it back to the 15. You see, watch this. That was your pullback, but onto the 75 and push right through. You can't gauge it right there. Remember, I said I can't even gauge it right there, right? So how I'm gonna gauge it is the smaller time frame, bigger time frame, small time frame. But that's why I say your question was so fire because you was able to pull it out of me to be able to explain it this way. So boom, you're about to break through that.
It makes it easier to see the breakout coming during consolidation.
What you mean?
The RSI. If you're watching the RSI and you see it's consolidating, it's easy to know the direction of the breakout.
Especially if you know it came from the bottom and going up.
Right, exactly.
And when you know that, and it's just like, oh, the bigger time frame says go up, you're always looking for bounces at the 50% retracement or anything above it or below it. All you're trying to do, if you don't want to get scared, you just grab the 50 break. Boom! Just don't get scared right here. Remember when I be like, oh, okay, it might be testing something, then it just goes.
I've played a couple just breakouts after consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question though. So if you don't use the extended time, then it's a total different look of the RSI, right? So it's better to use ETH, right?
No, it's the same thing.
It's the same look?
I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, it's the same thing. Extended hours and
so if you turn it to regular hours now, the RSI is not gonna look like, well, it's gonna fool me and look exactly the same. If you change to regular hours, won't that look different?
say it one more time.
If you change it to regular hours now instead of extended hours, that RSI will look different during the day.
Nah. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, but that would disappear. But you have to be, yeah, right.
It's the same thing. It's doing this because it stopped the replay how I was doing it, but no, it's the same thing. The only thing that changes if you change the extended hours is your candlesticks.
Okay.
So to be quite frank, I only use extended hours because it's better for this.
Yeah, I'm stuck on that too.
I like, huh?
I said me too, because that's how you trade. So
No, I like it because it's well, how can I word this? I feel like it's better for the strat. It gives like I'm gonna get a 3-bar on a real time. You're not gonna see the 3-bar, which is a 2. And that's like how I'm able to see gaps, like, oh, this is not a real gap. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody may see a daily gap or something like that, like,
Oh, right.
hours, nah, shit ain't no gap. The wick went straight through that. And then you may have, after it went through that, you may have some bodies, a candlesticks going straight through that, but on a daily, it seems gap. So then it confuses the trader when that gap gets clean on a daily, and they're like, yeah, clean the gap, da da da. It just broke support. But you don't say nothing. You gotta, what I've learned with trading is that you learn on your own, but you have to go through your own trials and tribulations. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, that person has something. I like what that person said there. You know what I'm saying? But it's also upon like the educator like me to be able to, you know what I mean, educate properly and not be so freaking combative sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, but it's the same thing. Extended hours, I like it because it's here, I'll show you so you won't be confused. It's the gaps how I mentioned, and then it just is better for the strat. And I noticed it because like I'll be on extended hours and my cousin would be on real time like 2 years ago and he was learning the strat from me and he'd be like, bro, there's a 2 da 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 on the hour. And I was like, bro, there's a 3-1 on the hour. He's like, wait, what? And he'll show me and I'll be like, yeah, bro, I got extended hours on. That's why I didn't see it. And he's like, oh, snap. But I started off with the strat with real time. You know what I'm saying? It just took me with the strat. Once you could literally overstand that system, there ain't no going back. It's like you may see a PMG, right? Like, so right here, this is a PMG. I'll just give you a gem real quick. I forgot what I was about to show. Oh, I'm gonna show you that thing on extended hours. Right here is a PMG, right? One candlestick takes it all out right here, right? But you have to understand these targets are not there anymore. You see all the way down to here, those are not targets anymore. To these candlesticks, once this one said and took all those targets out, the only other target is down here. That's why you had that candlestick take it out. That's why the strat is so amazing. What Rob created was so amazing. You know what I'm saying? So once that taken out, no more targets. You have more liquidity down here, right? That's why these took those out, like came straight to that support because it took the rest of all that liquidity. That one candlestick, boom, 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 taking all that PMG out, right? Last liquidity right there, left that motherfucker. And you've been on my mentorships. You see when I be showing you these candlesticks and I'm showing you like, look how many contracts just got sold right now. Look at this, look at that. Go to SPY, go look at the volume. Don't even care about the open interest. That's just telling you how much money is liquid is inside of these contracts. But if you look at the open interest, I promise you, each contract has made over $500 to $1 million today. More than that. I'm bullshitting. Like $3 million a contract. I'm talking about 442, 443, 444s, every single one of them, brother. Every single one of them. So when you understand that liquidity right there was millions of dollars. And they left that. They're going to take that out. They're going to take it out when they need it. They took all them out. That's millions of dollars. Billions. That's what you got to understand. Like, why they going to go for those? They even left these. Those. They have the power to do that. To like, man, they got money to move the market. We don't. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand that and you understand that these are targets, guess what? These levels are now support and resistance. Once all these candlesticks took it out, they're all support and resistance now because there's no targets there at all. The targets are right here now. Now that it reversed, that's your, delete that one. That's your target. See that? Hold. Hold. It's so beautiful to know. And that's just it. All this is just your swing. It's market structure. Swing high, swing low. But market structure scares people. Just because you don't. Some people don't know the definition of it. That's all. Once you start understanding like the definition of it, it's like, oh shit, this shit is so easy. Let me go to the chat, but I'll still show you. Oh, you're more than welcome, Melena. Damn, yeah, facts, right? Shit crazy. So with the strat, so we got real time on right now. I'm gonna just start this. We got a 322. Let's go to extended hours. That's a 322 to the downside. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, it's gonna be hard to see, but it's just something that I was able to see. But you'll once you get into the strat and you want to just trade the strat and you start going from extended hours to real time, you'll be able to catch it. I have to find the price action. I just don't know where it's at. But it's always like one or two candlesticks that's like that. You know what I'm saying? Now the cool thing about using real time with the strat is the fact that with real time you only get 7 candlesticks for your hour. Right? So the strat is going to provide you 2 moves and a swing on the hour. That's one cool thing about the strat because you only get 7 candlesticks. So it depends on how you want to utilize the strat, where it's like you may how can I explain this? Basically, like say if you just utilizing a 322 reversal, right? And you enter right here using the third candlestick, you get 3 more candlesticks plus 1, right? So off of this 322, what you're looking for is something like a 2-1 continuation, right? So you're looking for 1 inside here, and then you're getting in on the third bar. Even though you got in on this third bar, you just got to remember it's still the third bar. You're gonna get that inside candle consolidation. Once you get that inside candle consolidation, you're gonna be looking for it's gonna look just like this, right? But the other 2 that was down, then you got your 3, you got your 1, you're gonna enter in right here, or you add to your contracts and you keep taking it up, right? Now it'll either give you this one, right? That's one pattern, or you'll end up getting the 2-2 reversal. I mean, the 2-2-2 continuation, right? So now that's 3, right? So you're in your trade. That's basically 2 strat patterns, right? The day is basically almost over. Now you're only gonna get 1 more candlestick, and if you freak around and just start with an inside bar, bruh, it just depends on which one it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at the chart. Are we going up? Or are we going down? Are we overbought? That's when I start putting my RSI together and things of that nature, where it's just like, nah, I'm taking this up or I'm taking this down. And then the Browning formation helps you with all that. You know what I mean? The TTO, just knowing things. The TTO helps with market structure because you'll always see the TTO with market structure. It's like, oh, swing high, swing low, so we can swing higher. But yeah, that was a dope question. This class turned into a whole different class. So we'll start the trading views. Part 1 tomorrow. I said tomorrow.
Thursday.
I got energy. I don't know if I want to do it right now. Let me see.
Thanks for that explanation, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all got any questions?
I can't wait to watch the replay of this. It's gonna be fire.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna put it out there.
You know what, Moody? Hi, Moody.
What's up? What's up, Rosa? I need that wallpaper. Where did you get yours? Oh, it's a Strat. It's in. It should be in the Discord. Here, I got you.
Moody, I have a question.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Okay. The insight candle, right? That never mind.
Go ahead.
I see your face. No, I mean, because when you showed that that cheat sheet, because I have that cheat sheet too. That inside candle, Stratters like that inside candle because then you get to kind of like pick a side when it like, breaks out the other side of the bigger candle so that it tells you where to go.
Mm-hmm. What's your question though? Because I'm just agreeing with you. What's your question?
Well, actually, it wasn't a question. It was a statement.
Oh, okay. But no, yeah, absolutely. Oh, bro, I'm doing too much. It should be easier to do it from the phone. I'm gonna drop it in the general chat in the Discord, so you could be able to copy and paste it. Yeah, I'll copy this. Copy text. I'll just drop it.
Those last two sessions you had in the mornings when you were teaching and trading, that was pretty good. That was really good, actually, especially yesterday.
What you talking about?
When you're trading in the morning and you're explaining what you're doing and why you were doing it.
Oh, the live trading educational session.
That was fire. Yeah, that was really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a couple more things. I gotta do a pre-market session for y'all so y'all can see what's up. I just try to make it available for you guys, and if I have the time, I wouldn't mind doing it. Because some days I don't even feel like trading, to be honest with you. But I don't mind to help you make money. And it's still an advantage to me because then I end up like beating FOMO where it's like, oh, I see the move, but this is not what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
And then sometimes I don't listen. I still do it. I'm gonna just give you basically all this content that you see right here on the screen. I'm just trying to get all these pictures and I'm gonna drop it in the general chat. Do 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 do.
Hey, Rosa.
Hi, Melina.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? When you were saying, hi, Moody, you reminded me of that dude that was the anchorman and his mom was driving by when he was working. And he was like, hi, baby. So you were like, hi, Moody. Moody was like, hi, Rosa.
Yeah.
You sounded like her. It reminded me of her. It gave me a little chuckle.
Yeah, well, I was always lively like that.
I dropped it in the general chat. The strat seems hella fire. Yeah, you should. Man, I don't want to say anything too early.
Man, I've been telling Tia about the strat, man. I told her you a beast.
I'm not. I am mankind. I'm joking.
No, he didn't say I am mankind.
Oh, my mom don't know what to do with me.
Moody, how's the baby?
He good. He's sleeping. Thank God, bro. Jeez.
Damn.
He getting, man, this dude, but bro, I got him all day tomorrow. He does so much. He's my son.
No, he didn't.
He's my son, bro.
Man, you were so excited before his birthday, and you still look, excited because he's here,
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I just got him a new toy. This like little bouncy thing, and he like got all these little. I'll take him. I'll show y'all my son. I'll drop it.
Did he say who he said? Did he say dada first or mama? Oh, he didn't. He didn't say nothing yet.
Nah, he ain't be saying nothing. Yeah, he be sounding like a cat. He be like,
No, he didn't.
And he like we call him the Hulk. He's super strong. He be grabbing stuff, he be throwing it. I'm like, bro, you only 4 months, bro. Calm down. I'm excited because I'm about to introduce him to fruits.
Oh, okay. You see? Wow, I'm telling you, man, all those things are exciting.
Really though, I don't know.
It's so no, I'm just saying. I ain't gonna front. I thought we was never gonna see you again once your baby got here. I was like, damn, man, I'm trying to get all this information before a baby comes and stuff like that. Now you be waiting until he go to sleep so you could do a class.
Oh nah, chill. No, it's just my classes at 9. That's all. But I do it. I'd rather have my classes early, to be honest with you. But if I have my classes early, I do understand that people have to work and things of that nature. So it's just
Yeah.
like I meditate and be like, Moody, come on, bro. You got all the time in the world. And you're not about to go to sleep, bro. Like people think you're going to sleep, bro. You probably gonna go to sleep. I still haven't gotten right, bro. I'm probably gonna go to sleep at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna wake up at 8. I'm gonna wake up at 8:30. So it's just like what I tell myself is, I don't know. I watched my mom live, and I seen all the good that my mom done, and my mom always had an easy life. But I understand is because of the work she's done, and helping others. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to explain it. Hey, when you do the class at 9 p.m., let's see you trade futures. Yeah, we could do that. We could, honestly, we really can. Let me see what futures is doing right now. I need to start jumping on. I just don't know the day that Raj is actually trading futures. I know he'd be trading other stuff, but I'll jump on and trade futures with y'all. Honestly, bro, I be wanting to trade futures in the morning. Like this morning, I would have traded futures instead of SPY. Like when I got off, I was like, I made good money, but would have killed it on futures. Like you see this move? I wouldn't touch futures to be honest tonight because it tells me to short until like the daily right here where we opened up and we pushed up. But hold on, let me check it out. But yeah, no, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, 45.20 is a good 45.20 is a good resistance level.
Still could run.
He has to hold above it.
The only thing is they don't be moving like that. Let me see what it looks like on the 6 minute. Oh, never mind. I like these candlesticks, they straight. But if I was to trade them right now, I'll be looking for a short move. I'll take them down to this hour right here. That's a decent move. That's a decent move. I'll literally take that 25 contracts. Take it down. Yeah. But no, yeah, we could definitely do that. And we can have a live trading and education. Yeah, no, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Y'all just gotta like let me know. I'll be down to trade. I don't know, I'll just be everywhere. I'll be all over the freaking place. But that's one thing that I don't know, I just love to do. I love to trade. And it's just like how I get onto Jordan about gambling and like doing all this other stuff. My wife
You
gets
said
on.
you gonna what?
Oh, this dude on here. Oh shit. Nah, bro, talking about how you like to gamble and shit. You feel me? You see, I could have took that trade, but I'm straight right now. But I would do it. If I was, see, I'm tempted to stop showing my screen, put in my password. I only mention it because people are at work at the AM. Oh yeah, no, that's actually a good idea. Like a little quick trading session. Yeah, like that. And honestly, no, that's actually good because they move so slow. They move so slow that it's easier to like manage. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be scared. That's the only thing. But yeah, I literally take them down right there. If they start consolidating, it's just like looking at the RSI, you feel me? It's just go to the 1 minute, let me see. Nah, I would have took profits. See, even though I have this green line, I would have ended up taking profits right there automatically. And it's just because it's uptrending and things of that nature. Now, if we come down to this green line, definitely. And look, this is what you could do too. Oh, this is a perfect setup. It'd be perfect setups if you know what to do with them. That's what it is. All right, so the 4 minute. All right, cool. I was on the 6 minute curved. 8 minute. Right here, this is a perfect setup. Are you looking for like to reject it? You just want to find a time frame it's there, but not like that. You feel me? Even like this, that's perfect. That's a perfect setup. And you want to stay on this time frame, and you want to work this time frame. Wait for the evening star to come on the next candlestick, so you don't get faked out. Because yes, it can break back up, but it's overbought. And the thing is, it's been running like this all night, all night, all night. I need this to fall because I want to pick them up for the morning. You know, I'm a bull, so it's like, and I learned to just stick with what I like. You know, I'll be shorting, but not like that. And if anything, if I short, I'll be shorting Bitcoin. I'll be shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's just like, that's why I don't know. I'm trying to learn. Like Kim is dope. Like how, and Jordan also be telling me that too, where it's like when you write down certain things that you do and like put it out like in a format so people could be able to see it. Where it's like, if I'm shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's crypto's futures, right? I'm making bank doing that. I'm not just gonna try to like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just work on the strategy that I'm doing on options. It's just like how I trade futures. I trade futures completely different than I trade options. Futures, I'll be like a sniper. I don't be entering my trades until I know like this is the reversal, or that that's what futures taught me. Futures taught me that I'm a beast at options, but I am not a sniper trader. Because I'm honest, I blew, and I remember, I ain't going to say who I was talking to. I was braggadocious, like, bro, I ain't blow no accounts yet. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 funded, and I got some more. And that cockiness, boy, I blew 2 of them. I was like, dang. She taught me real quick. I'm like, damn, I ain't no sniper. Oh, that. But yeah, you know. And I was able to see that travel into my options trading because I started losing. And I was like, what the fuck going on? And it's because like I started trying to trade that like I was trading the futures. And I had to notice that where it's like, oh, got it. That's why I love options, because of the Greeks. As much as you could talk bad about them, it's just you don't know how to utilize them. That's how I was. They're like, oh no. Future, like I'll talk about crypto like that. Like you don't got no Greeks over there, you know what I'm saying? So it would be better, but you have to realize when it's your capital, it's different. And you could bleed a certain way. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't like, even with the futures trading, I love it. But I'll tell you the gem with this futures trading, you don't want one account funded, right? What you want to do is when they give the 80% and the 90%, you want to go ahead and buy like 10 accounts, 5 accounts, and try to get them all funded. Some of them you may blow them, some of them you may not, right? Because what you want to do is add a copier to it. And once you add the copier to it, you no longer are chasing those bigger moves. Regardless of the fact if you can buy 35 contracts on all, and you don't need $300,000 accounts on all of them. You get the 25K, 50K, do a couple of 300Ks. Like I'm diversing them. And you just put the copier on there. Once you put your copier on there, you're taking the same trades on each one. So now you size differently, where like I don't have to go and buy 35 contracts or 30 contracts or 20 contracts, right? I have 5 accounts, they're copiers, they're all funded. All I do is just take the same trade on every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm making $300 on one account, I could just call it quits because I'm making way more money than that. And that's how you trade futures. For real, for real. Why? Because as long as you gaining more accounts, your risk, you can risk more, but your risk becomes smaller. You know what I'm saying? You can risk, you know what I'm going to risk? I could risk $500 to make a few thousand, or I can risk $1,000 to make a few thousand. And this is not going to hurt the account. Plus the threshold goes away. But yeah. Anybody got any questions? But no, that's a good idea, Melena. We could definitely do that. What am I doing this weekend? I am busy this weekend. I don't know. Y'all just gotta tag me. I may be able to do it this weekend or next week sometime. Yeah, but it's pretty late. I was gonna let me see. I feel like pulling a Jordan. Stop recording. Start a new recording. What y'all think? Y'all wanna do a trading views class? I know I just went through a lot. Y'all let me know in the chat.
To do it, you mean to do it now?
Yeah. I don't want to
Yeah,
get information overload.
let's keep it going. Well, for the ones that's ready to roll.
Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all want to go and do another class. Drop a 2 in the chat if it's a lot and you want to be able to digest this and you rather watch the live trading from this morning. Man, if y'all don't put down y'all dinner and start answering these questions, I'm just joking. Bro, y'all want to keep going? Bro, I thought I gave y'all a dope one like number 2. 2 is dope. I got to run, but RSI class was fire. If you do the TV, please start another recording. Yeah, no, I will. If I end up doing it, I will. Let me stop this recording though.